Here we go. Hot Rods, Blazing Topics. It's your boy Hot Rod here, back with another one. Here with another episode. Man, I hope everybody's week went well. So yes, with that being said, guys, I definitely got to hold myself accountable on this one again, man. I apologize. Y'all know I don't post this late. Damn, it was just a rough week, but hey, I definitely, there's no excuses on mine. I slacked. I really did slack. I gotta hold myself accountable there. So, guys, man, I hope like I said, I hope you guys did have a wonderful week so far. I know we're going into the weekend now. I hope you guys did, achieve those goals that you had mapped out and started this week, and I hope you did see it through. Me for sure, guys. I'll tell you right now, your boy is excited. He has officially cracked down to 400 subscribers, so I'm gonna definitely have to give myself a round of applause there. It was a tough journey, and hey, a lot of times when you're in this journey, man, it's all about trusting the process. And no, I don't mean the Philadelphia Sixers trust the process, because we knew that shit was trash. That shit was trash. But seriously though, no, definitely do trust the process, and that's what I'm pretty much gonna get in today. But before we do though, I'd like to definitely say, please guys, share, like, and subscribe. Share the channel, tap the notification bell to get up-to-date videos. Hey, that's all I've asked for, man. And I appreciate y'all again as my supporters, man. Without you guys, hey, this channel probably wouldn't uphold, but we're definitely continuing this journey, and I try to speak, like I said, give a voice for the voiceless, man. That's what I like to do, and talk about the everyday average Joe, and give you guys a positive message. A lot of times we talk about the negative clickbaits, of course, like I always say, and I feel like with this one we definitely try to be our own. We try to be our own. I like to look at you guys as like family, distance family. I don't know, but I know you guys do watch and consistently support, and I appreciate that, because I like to just share positive content, man. Positive messages. Like I said, there's a lot of negative clickbaits that really does us no good. It doesn't help our future generations to come. So I try to just give a different outlook, so that those who want more positivity in their life, they can definitely come here and believe that's what I will always provide here on this channel. So we're going to talk about trusting the process, right? And trusting the process, right, is, well, what does it look like, right? It's to have belief, right? To have faith in something. For me, it's putting my faith in God and knowing that I set a plan in motion, and eventually I know that plan will see through. I know last time we talked about developing a business plan, and how we develop a business plan. We a lot of times want to see the business plan eventually execute and come into fruition, and that's all part of that journey when you're trying to trust the process too as well. Because a lot of times when you to trust the process and have faith in something, you have to know that when you set that plan in place, right, you just got to have self-belief that no matter what, that plan is eventually going to come true, right? And when we're trusting the process, we go through this time where we may have a lot of self-doubt. Right, we let things marinate. We hope that eventually, when we put these things out that we want to see come into fruition, we would hope that there's a time frame where we see the things we want eventually come to life, right? Well, but a lot of times we don't realize when we're trying to go through this journey, and we whatever the goals are that we're setting in place, we have fear, right? We have fear. Right, we don't know what's to come in the future. Like we know what we want, but we can't tell when it's gonna show up, when it's gonna come. Right, we have that vision. Right, we have that vision that we put out, but we want to see it come into play. And a lot of times we're afraid and nervous because we may go through a phase where we have that self-doubt, right? We don't know, like, okay, I've been doing this for a very long time, but I'm not seeing this develop. I'm not seeing it grow, right? The things that I wanted to do at this time frame is not happening at the exact time frame, right? And I'm ready to give up, man. And a lot of the times we have to understand that we have to have that faith and that belief in God, that knowing that that thing that we set in place, it's already there. It's at that finish line. We just got to keep walking, and we have to keep going. Right, we can't give up, because it's like when you have this business, right? You or whatever it is, you put this team in place, right? You put your team in place. You hope that this team that you have, that you put trust in them. You put trust that no matter what's gonna happen, they will help you get over that hump, right? They will help you get to that next step, get to those goals that you have set out in motion. And when you have self-doubt, you kind of lack trust. You can lack trust, right? You don't believe in sometimes. You start to question. You start to question the things around you, the people around you, the people that you trust, right? The people that you put in place to trust. You start to get nervous. You fear, okay, are they doing you right? Is everything going well? A lot of times you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? You put your trust in sometimes in a complete stranger that you don't even know, and you hope that everything is going well. And a lot of times we might just vibe with someone, and that's how we connect. You're like, you know what, I like and vibe with this individual that I'm gonna put my trust in. I hope everything is going according. But sometimes the devil might try you. You might get tried. You might get knocked down. You're not too sure. You start to then question that individual, right? And the team that's around you, because it's like, well, why aren't things going, according to how I set things in motion, right? The time frame that I have, like I said. And you start to wonder. So that's when you have that fear that, maybe things are not going to happen or at all and not the way you want it to. And therefore, a lot of times you may give yourself self-doubt and ready to give up, right? You're ready to quit. And you have to remember that in that, when you set that plan and you having that trust and like I said, you're going through this process, you have to just know that no matter what, you have to remain consistent, right? Consistency is the key. And I say consistency is the key because a lot of times, right, let's say like a basketball player, any sport, person who's doing a sport, whatever, right? So this talent, right, and it's hard work. And 9 out of 10 times, yes, a person who's more talented than you, for sure, they will get over that hump. They will be more effective and efficient than you. A lot of times they will outbeat you. They will beat you because they have the talent. But what is that talent if there's no hard work involved? Because I'm a believer that hard work prevails over anything. Let me correct that. Talent prevails over anything. But a person who has talent also acquires hard work, and that's what makes him prevail, right? Because what is a person who has talent but he's not putting in that effort and he's not putting in that work? Then guess what? That person who has hard work ethics is gonna always grind over. Who's willing to grind and hustle is always gonna. I'll beat him every single time for anything that he wants to do in life. And that's the same thing. Is like, I always compared Kobe to Allen Iverson, and RIP to Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe Bryant was a person who had talent, but his most important trait was the hard work he was willing to put in. And I love AI, right? We all love Allen Iverson for sure. He was a cultural icon in the NBA, but we all remember that famous interview, right? Practice? What practice? Man, I ain't worried about no practice. And the crazy part is, no matter how talented he was, what separated him from Kobe Bryant was that Kobe was talented too as well, but Kobe was the one willing after the game to put in more practice, right? Practice on his shots, right? If he had a terrible game, best believe when the game was over, he was staying in the gym an extra couple of hours shooting up jump shots, right? And Iverson, who's just as talented, didn't believe in practice. So that's the difference there. So a lot of times, don't fear that because you don't have talent, right? Or you may not be as talented as someone that you won't be able to get to the place you want to get to in life. No, always stay consistent and grind and have, solid work ethics. Don't give up. And it's even the same thing, right? When you're trusting the process, I always say, even this past week, right? In and I'm gonna talk about relationships for this standpoint. I was having a conversation with a friend, and we're solid, we're really close, we're tight. We have some of these type of dialogues a lot of the times too, and we realized that we were better off friends than when we actually dated, right? Because a lot of times we tend to rush, right? We rush into things that we aren't prepared for, right? We rush into things without learning each other's habits, right? Knowing one another fully, and a lot of times those decision makings when you're rushing to things can really bite you in the ass in the long haul, right? Because you didn't take time to let things develop, right? You wanted to rush through things. You didn't remain consistent. So therefore, a lot of times things could break off. I'm not saying that's always the case here, but that happens a lot of times, and we all know plenty of people who have, went through the similar thing in this situation I'm talking about. And with time, right, we realize, like, damn, like, yo, we learn a lot as friends. Like, we get along better as friends. But why is it that when we were talking, right, going through that talking stage, what I call dating, we wasn't getting along so well, right? We didn't understand each other. And a lot of the times it's because we didn't trust that process. We just wanted to get from point A to B, right? And we skipped a couple steps along from point A to B, and therefore things eventually debacled. And we sitting there and we're realizing we're talking about each other childhood experiences and childhood trauma that we went through and what led to the way we are today and our habits. But it's like, damn, why didn't we have these conversations 3 years prior when we were just starting off dating? But we both come to a realization that it was because we were trying to rush through things, right? We were still in that phase where we were hiding from each other. Right. And in that, when you first start talking to someone, you then hide a lot of those tendencies and you hide a lot of those things about you that you don't want that person to know right away. See, but these are the things that you're hiding from them that's going to be pivotal and important the further the relationship goes, because a lot of the times that's going to really cause y'all, well, that's going to really stop y'all from having issues about how to handle situations and stop y'all from having arguments when you understand one another. And I think a lot of times that's why we don't last long. And we see today is the divorce rate is an extreme high because people don't really take the time to let things develop. So we don't really trust that process. And that's why I would say, like, when you're trusting that process, you got to continue to believe, right? Continue to put in that hard work, even when you don't see the vision come to play at the moment, right? Because it's easy to put something out there, right? And it's easy to just say, I'm going to map this out. I'm going to go after it. I'm going to develop this plan. But now after just put the work in. But a lot of times as you put the work in, you fear that is not going to go according to the way you want it to, because like I said, again, you have that time frame. So now you're ready to quit. You're ready to give up, right? You didn't let things marinate over time. You didn't let things develop and be organic. Because all of us a lot of times want that fast life, right? We want things to be so fast and quick and easy, right? We want things accessible that easy. And me, I had to go through that realization. I had to really take time to sit down in myself and say, you know what, yo, I gotta just trust the process. And here we are later, sitting at almost 400 subscribers with a lot of views, and that's wonderful, right? But it's because I had to remember, like, yo, even when times got tough, I should not and I cannot give up. Continue to trust the people and the team that's around me, and I know that eventually I'll get to the place I want to. But it's okay. We're gonna have self-doubt, right? But when self-doubt comes, just regroup yourself. Remember your purpose, right? For me, I pray, I meditate, right? And I'll be like, you know what? I know things are gonna be well because I have a lot of not perfect, but I have a lot of great examples around me that I've seen that started from the bottom and made it all the way to the top. But they had to remain consistent and they had to put in hard work. They did not give up, even when they were afraid sometimes and they had that fear that struck them. They remained consistent and they trust that things will eventually prevail. So, guys, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys for this week. Trust the process. I'm not talking about the Philadelphia Sixers. Once again, trust the process. But truly trust the process and the things that you want to achieve and accomplish in life. Guys, have a wonderful week. I'll definitely, I promise I will have the video out next week, even earlier, not late like I did this week. And once again, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to content. I'll talk to you again. Hot Rod's Bleeding Topic. I'm out.